needs and wants. I really love this text and the personal and real world applications that go along with it, especially the quotes at the start of each chapter. This one really sums it up, wouldn't you say? When I read this one, it took me back to my own childhood, adolescence, and my middle-aged years, and how I've been in a number of families, you might say. Again, I really like these quotes, and if you'll just kind of go through these and just read them out loud, it might strike a chord with you each time. Whether we're face-to-face or virtual, I'm still going to allow you the opportunity to participate in some fantastic activities that really give a connection from this text, your life after college, and relate it all the way around. So what I need you to do is print off this slide or take a screenshot of this chart where it says needs and human wants, where you have all those little squares. And I want you to follow along as we do this activity virtually. Have it handy when we come back to our discussion. Let me set the stage. Remember, needs refer to the basic necessities of life, without which is difficult to survive, such as air, food, water, and that wants refer to our various desires, such as chocolates, Netflix, Papa John's pizza. So keep that in mind as we move forward with this little activity. I want you to imagine that we just had an important phone call from the head of state. They explained to us, we have a lot of problems in the world right now. If everyone all over the world used up as many resources as we do in the north, we would need another 4 planets. So we are about to conduct an experiment. The head of the state has heard that our class is an extremely bright group and thinks it would be a good idea to send us all to a new planet. It has a good atmosphere. There's clean air for us to breathe. There's gravity, so we will all not float away, and there are no aliens. So don't worry about that. You've been given 6 weeks supply of food and water, but you may be sent for a few months, maybe a year. There's not much time, and we're going to be leaving in the next 30 minutes. What you need to do is pack your bags and think what you need to take. What is a need and what is a want? I want you to select 16 items that you identify as needs to head out on this trip. So pause the video here and narrow this down to 16 items. You've got your 16 items now. I've got some bad news. The head of state just called and said the rocket ship is not big enough to fit you and your 16 things. So I'm afraid you're going to have to cut that down to 8. Pause here and narrow those 16 items down to 8. What 8 items do you need to take on this adventure? Looking at the 8 items that you've selected, you've done pretty good. But now I need you to get that down to 4. What 4 items from the 8 would you feel necessary and a need to take with you on this experiment? Pause the video and narrow that down to 4. Make a note of these 4 items as you will need them again for the discussion and to conclude this activity. Abraham Maslow developed the hierarchy of needs, and we look at this very often as teachers in regards to our students and their needs as we plan daily activities and establish social connection among students. Take a few minutes to explore more in depth. If you're going to be a dietitian or some other field of family consumer sciences, these are super important across the lifespan. Now for you a pop quiz. Once you finish your readings for this module, try to take this little quiz. I'm sure you did great after those readings and that quick quiz. Now, on the next slide, I would like for you to click on the videos and watch the little clips, and let's identify what needs on Maslow's hierarchy are addressed in these video clips. This is a great display of the CREM, which embellishes Maslow's pyramid with these 4 basic assumptions. We as consumers seek to manage what we have to function effectively. We've got differences based on our levels of importance, and resources are a system of interrelated and independent resources. And of course, time, finite temporal space. Our needs change along with our circumstances, personality, economic status, and any given time. Our perceptions of needs can change. Relative deprivation, you might not have heard the actual term, but I'm sure it sounded familiar when you were reading. Years ago, I know I'm telling my age here, we would call it keeping up with the Joneses. But a more current example might be keeping up with the Kardashians or any of the given Real Housewives. So think of relative deprivation in that sense. It is difficult to identify needs that are common to all groups and cultures. Not all cultures agree on identifying basic needs. An American may see a car as a basic need, but in a third world country, a car is a luxury or a want. In addition, the range of needs status varies greatly. Differences in food, clothing, and traditions magnify the differences in the way various cultures meet their needs. It would be a great idea to go ahead and bookmark the needs assessment section in your book. In the upcoming activity, as we transfer content into real-life service learning, a needs assessment is just that. What is needed given the situation, and based on your experience, an investigation can be performed. Let's give this a try. Okay, we're going to brainstorm in this activity. Make some notes and click on the examples provided, and we will pick up on this activity in your next session for discussion. Take a few minutes to reflect over the material throughout this chapter and in this video. I'm looking forward to the potential for you to discuss further with your peers.